Well, this tuition thing, I follow up on this
Yes,
seriously.
tuition. Our
Yes,
what the
and
fees?
seriously, yeah, the fees.
Mm.
And you've done so much from the report of that, in breaking it down, reducing it further. But right now, students are having challenges with respect to meeting up with like those investing in the market and stuff that is almost 200,000. Many of them are the method of going to school. What do we have to say in this regard?
No, you see, the communicating a new regime of school fees is not easy.
Okay.
But as academics, we what we do is to communicate the truth, even when that truth is very bitter. The cost of training a child in this university is 380,000 for just non-professional courses. For professional courses, it's over 450,000. And now what happens is that this cost of education is shared between the government and the people, particularly the major stakeholders, the students. What proportion should government take? That is the question. Because we're a developing society, government used to take like 90 something percent. But government itself is facing very serious challenges. And we have to let our people know that they have to contribute more, they have to make more sacrifices for themselves. So we are moving from about 15 to 18% to a situation where the students will contribute about 30%. Government still takes 30 70%. And it takes a lot of communication for people to understand the essence. Let me illustrate. Many of the Nigerians we have, when they take their children to the secondary school or even primary school, some of them are prepared to pay up to 75,000 per term. Many people. But when they come to the university where the facilities demand more, when it becomes more expensive, they want to pay only 40,000. Does that make economic sense?
No, it doesn't.
And these same people who offer to pay only 40,000 rent a room for 200,000 or more and furnish the room with another 200,000. So we have to ask questions about our values. Where is your priority? Your priority to be to pay your tuition fee to ensure that you have the facilities for learning. Not about going to rent a very expensive room and getting it furnished. You can manage. So that is the narrative we're trying to change. And but we know that there's so much poverty,
Of course.
and because of that, we are modernizing our operations to make it easier for students. First, we have instrumental payments of
Wow.
school fees, so that if you are not able to pay completely, you can take a proportion of it and finish up in the second semester before the second semester exam. And then secondly, we have introduced a work study program
Oh, wow.
so that for those who are really indigent, you can afford to work while studying. If you make 3 hours of your day of your lectures, which you spend maybe doing some other things that are not productive, to volunteer to make your classroom better, to volunteer to shelf books in the library, to volunteer if you are very good with the computer to help with some documents, to volunteer to even cut hedges here and there. If there's a flourishing construction site, it is that you can do, instead of hiring labor from outside, to volunteer, to use some part of your time. Then you earn additional money. That can help you, if not with the tuition, but with feeding.
Of course.
That is what happens abroad. So why Nigerians should live here to go to UK to study and be doing such jobs that we call menial? Why don't you do it here for your own self-benefit?
Availability, sir.
And apart from doing it to help yourself, you're also inculcating in them the issue of the dignity of labor, the issue of discipline, the issue of how you divide your time. So we are training students here without telling lies to them. It would have been easy for me to say, okay, 30,000, 40,000, and then there is nothing going on. Now we are modernizing our facilities. So we are able to make our lives better. We're able to make our lives better. If you look at the university, there's a construction that is going on purely from internally generated funds. That is something that is going to give a faculty in the next 18 months. That wouldn't have been possible if students were not paying fees. So the fee that students pay, it's for their own benefit, it's for their own use, it's their own money. That is what we want to communicate. And if you trust leadership, believe in leadership, many people don't know the cost benefit of bringing Professor Lumumba to talk to them.
Of course.
It's a
Of
life
course.
changer for those who have brain.
That's true.
That you are challenged that you can do something for yourself, for your community, and for Africa. From the people who have listened today, future leaders will emerge. Some people will be challenged to change the narrative about themselves. Some people suffering from inferiority complex will even have more confidence in themselves to know the potentials that they have. That is what made us the kind of people who listen to when we were in the university. So it's the kind of culture we are trying to bring, and it's not cheap. It's not cheap. So it is important that we improve the quality of education. It is very easy for people to come out on the street and say, no, it's too high, it's too high. But what alternative do they have? So we are acting responsibly in what we have done in increasing school fees. And anybody who is honest and who has eyes will see that the quality is changing. It's changing because people are paying more.
Thank you very much, sir. The final thing I just want to say by way of contribution is that perhaps I am very happy when you talked about the aspect of creating the possibility of schooling and working.
Yes.
That's fantastic. But for some of these students, you have a situation where they go to lectures from Monday to Friday, and from morning till evening, they may not really have the time to consider.
A very sensible student knows what to do. Even when you say Monday to Friday, every student has at least up to 5 hours free within the 18 hours of the day. So it's about division of labor.
Okay.
So if you know that you're free, instead of spending the time going to play games or driving around town, why don't you enroll and you have some time to go to the library and shelf books for 2 hours before you go for any other thing you want to do?
So what about your entrepreneurship department?
The same
Making
thing.
it compulsory, formalizing the system, the operational procedure.
It's already there.
From
Yes,
the cradle, from the 100 levels.
Yes, they are already engaged in one form of trade or the other.
Okay.
But that is just purely for training. They are not paid for that. I'm talking about what you are paid for at the end of the month. Like as I'm talking to you, 50% of our work study vacancy is reserved for 100 level students.
Wow, that's great.
Why do we do so? Because these 100 level students are the ones bearing the brunt of higher school fees.
Yes.
So for those of them who are wise, who want to help themselves, they engage in student work study. And what is another advantage of work study? When you work and study, you are closer to the establishment. You understand the problems going on, and you even have a possibility of getting into the system when you finish. Because you're already known. If you are known as a diligent person because of work and study, and you have a 2-1, you have a higher chance of coming to that department as a graduate assistant than another person. So we are changing the narrative. The attitude must change. It's not what you used to say in the past. Those who are strong, those who are more competitive, they will emerge as better students.
Thank you so much, sir. This will go a long way correcting so many wrong
Thank you.
impressions out there.